What's up, everybody on YouTube? AJ Russ back here with another video, and today I'll be sharing with y'all my spoiler review of Marvel Studios' Eternals. Let's get it. Alright guys, so if you haven't seen Eternals yet, click away from this video because there are definitely spoilers, but I posted a spoiler-free review, so go check that out for sure, and just sharing my general thoughts on the movie. And then once you see the movie in its entirety and the post-credit scene, the mid-credit scene, come here to talk about the spoilers. So anyways, without further ado, let's get into my spoiler review. Eternals introduced a lot of new things in the MCU, talking about the prior history of what happened before the Marvel Universe and all the characters we love and know, such as Iron Man, Captain America, seeing all those characters coming to fruition. But this takes place at the beginning of time, basically. So like when the movie first came up, as you saw when it first started, it had like a scroll of contents like saying in the beginning, similar to how the Bible starts off. So I found that pretty cool. We're introduced to 10 characters, and I think at this point I remember all the characters, but if I miss a couple, just let me know in the comments down below. But we're introduced to, of course, Athena, Cersei, Ajax, Gilgamesh, Kingo, Phastos, Drigg, Sprite. There's a few more, I believe, but I mean, Makari, in my opinion, I know in my spoiler-free video, I said that Cersei was my favorite Eternal, but now thinking about it and just replaying the movie in my head, I think Makari was my favorite because I just love how Marvel portrayed her speed. It's different. It's not similar to how the Flash was. In my opinion, they just made it great. Like, and I really love speedsters and stuff like that. So I seen Makari was dope, and I hope to see more of her in the Eternals future in the MCU going forward. In the movie, we were also introduced to Dane Whitman, who becomes the Black Knight in the comics. And as y'all know from that post-credit scene, not the mid-credit scene, the post-credit scene, we know that the writing's on the wall for that, and we'll talk about that in a few, but I'm just trying to introduce what happened at the beginning in chronological order from the movie. But we saw Dane Whitman, and honestly, he didn't get a lot of screen time, but he was probably one of my favorite characters on the screen just because his charisma and his charm, and he was just cool in my opinion. So I think going forward, as he becomes the Black Knight in the future, I think I'm gonna like him. He's probably gonna become one of my favorite MCU superheroes potentially, even though I don't know a lot about Black Knight. That's the beauty of the MCU though, in my opinion. I mean, they introduced a lot of new characters, people who aren't heavily known of. Like in 2014, they introduced the Guardians of the Galaxy, not popular people, but people who are fans of the MCU and Marvel movies, they love Guardians of the Galaxy. That's an example of just seeing, you know, how we can be introduced to characters on screen and just fall in love with them. So that's what I love about the MCU. But anyways, moving on past that, we're introduced to a lot of things, a lot of historical events, as we see a lot of flashbacks in the movie. We saw that Ajax ended up being killed by Icarus, and oh yeah, Icarus is the one I forgot to mention earlier. Icarus, bro, he is so powerful. Like I mess with his powers for sure. Very reminiscent of Superman. But it was interesting to see how he betrayed basically the Eternals, just following what he thought, and ended up killing Ajax. And then at the end, we ended up seeing him going into the sun. I'm sure he's not dead, because I mean, to have an actor like him and playing Icarus, and then just seeing just his whole powers and his whole skill set, I mean, that's too valuable to just end up killing him off in the first film. So I hope we see more of Icarus going forward. And then we saw Cersei and everyone. I like Cersei a lot. I said she was my favorite Eternal, but like I said, I think Makari was probably my favorite. Either her, I like Kingo too. Kingo was so funny, and Phastos, how he just portrayed everything. And then Athena is very powerful, even though she had PTSD. But I mean, it was weird, like, because she could snap at any moment. But I really messed with Angelina Jolie's portrayal of Athena, and I just mess with the movie overall. Now, as many of y'all may or may not know, this Eternals movie is really having mixed reviews. Like, it's the lowest rated MCU film in terms of Rotten Tomatoes rankings. You know, a lot of people base their beliefs off of Rotten Tomatoes, but I mean, the audience score for Eternals is high. In my opinion, I like the movie. I know a lot of people, I know some of my friends and family members who've seen Eternals and they were about it, but I mean, I liked it. There was a lot of exposition, of course, because there was explaining a lot of things that went on in the Marvel Universe, like I said, prior to everything that we've seen in the MCU so far. But I mean, in my opinion, I enjoyed it. But I mean, you have to watch this for yourself. I mean, and of course, since you're here watching this, you saw the movie. So I mean, let me know in the comments down below if you liked the movie, if you were on the fence about it, middle of the pack, or just didn't like it and didn't enjoy it. But that's the thing about the MCU. I mean, there's so many projects coming in on Disney Plus with the MCU shows, and then more films coming, of course, this year and next year and beyond. So I mean, it's all good if you don't like one thing, because there's a lot of stuff for all types of different people who like Marvel content. Like I said in my spoiler-free review of the movie, I thought seeing the Deviants and the Celestials were cool to see. Seeing Arishem, the Celestial, he was basically who the Eternals were answering to. It was cool to see how massive a Celestial is, and then seeing that basically the Eternals and Cersei, she ended up saving that Celestial coming from Earth's core. That was crazy to see too. But I mean, I liked it. And the Deviants, they were ugly. Like, I mean, they were cool, I guess, but they're like just some ugly looking animal creatures. But I mean, I guess they were a cool side antagonists, I should say. But yeah, I mean, it was just cool to see some of that Jack Kirby art that we've seen in terms of just seeing from the comics being portrayed on screen. So just props to Chloe Zhao being a great director. Like I said in my spoiler-free review of the film, the cinematography and the grading of the film was gorgeous. Regardless of what the reviews say or anything like that, you can't lie, the film was definitely beautiful and it had great CGI and great special effects. Besides that though, the mixed credit scene and the post credit scene, I really look forward to that. The mid credit scene, the details about that was leaked a while ago, I'm not gonna lie. And last year, some stuff was rumored and talked about Harry Styles being into the MCU. We ended up seeing him in his troll figure, but Harry Styles playing Thanos' brother, Eros. So that was cool to see. It's gonna be nice to see Harry Styles in the MCU. The MCU is low-key getting a lot of like big name actors now. They got Will Poulter playing Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which just started filming today, I believe. That's what I saw on social media earlier. Then we got Harry Styles coming in. And then of course we had Angelina Jolie as well in Eternals. So that's just awesome. That's a star-studded just 3 right there. Great actors are being introduced into the MCU, so that's dope. And we got Jonathan Majors, of course, as Kang. Just a lot coming in the MCU, so I really like that. It's gonna be very compelling and interesting to see where Eros, Harry Styles' character, is gonna end up popping up next. I know in the comics, which I saw some YouTube videos recently saying that he has ties to Athena, of course, but I think they're cousins because Thanos and Athena are cousins as well. But I think, yeah, that's incest. I think that's weird, but anyway though, but we'll see where that goes. And I think Harry Styles would be a cool addition into the MCU. I've had some friends that don't like that he's in MCU, like basically meaning that anyone could be in the MCU, but I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I definitely trust Marvel because I mean, they made some amazing films. This is what, the 26th film, I believe, so I mean, hey, they've been having this much success for a while for a reason. That was the mid-credit scene, but the post-credit scene, in my opinion, was what I looked forward to and liked a lot more. We were back with Dane Whitman, who ends up becoming Black Knight in the comics, and he was debating on opening this little sword thing, and he ends up opening it, and he ends up seeing just weird things moving on the blade of the sword, and it's his family crest thing basically, like it's from his family. And before the film ended, also he was gonna tell Cersei about something about his family, which he was just finding out, but then Cersei ended up being taken away, as we saw. But then Dane Whitman, he basically decides to open the thing, and he ends up seeing the sword and the blade, and then he's just looking at it, trying to see what's going on. But then we hear a voice in the background, and bro, that voice was Mahershala Ali's Blade. I didn't know who it was at first in the theaters, but then seeing Chloe Zhao talk about it a couple days after, and then just thinking about it, bro, it was Mahershala Ali's Blade. Oh my gosh, I'm excited to see Blade in the MCU. So even though we didn't see him on screen, that was technically his first appearance in the MCU, just hearing Mahershala Ali's voice. So I'm definitely ready for the Blade film. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to start filming next year around July 2022, so probably expecting to film around 2023, but I mean, it'll be worth the wait in my opinion. Going to be seeing him go against vampires, and then we know Morbius is in the Sony's Marvel Universe, but I mean, that could end up being tied in the MCU because we know that MCU Vulture is in that, so we'll see how that goes. But I mean, just seeing Blade, he's gonna be introduced soon, and that was his his voice being in the post-credit scene, bro. That's absolutely dope, and I'm ready to see Blade. So this movie, like I said, it had a lot of mixed reviews, but in my opinion, like I said, I enjoyed it for what it was. So in my ratings of the movie, I'll probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of exposition, some parts, I mean, I guess people could get bored of, but it really captivated me and hooked me. So I mean, I liked the film in my opinion, and just let me know in the comments down below if y'all liked it. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for my Marvel Studios Eternal spoiler review. Let me know what y'all thought of the film in the comments down below. This is the second to last Marvel film of this year in 2021. Next month, my bad. Next month, you already know what's coming. Spider-Man No Way Home, bro. My most anticipated film. Bro, if Toby and Andrew are in there, which I'm pretty sure they are, I mean, there's been a lot of leaks and stuff. Bro, it's gonna be crazy. I'm so ready for the film, and I'm gonna watch it like 5 times, legit 5 times. I'm telling y'all. We also just got a new poster of Spider-Man No Way Home on it as well, which we saw Doc Ock's arms, of course, his tentacles, and then we saw Green Goblin in the background. Like, he looks really small. They were low-key trying to hide it, but we can see him, and then you can see Sand, which is an Easter egg to Sandman, and Electro's lightning. So, oh my gosh, bro. I'm so ready for this film. I love Spider-Man so much. My favorite superhero of all time. On my shirt right here, as you can see, I mean, bro, I love Spider-Man. I'm looking forward to it for sure. Thank y'all for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at SwaggyRush, and I appreciate y'all support. More videos are coming. Stay tuned for more. All types of videos, all types of content. Y'all be blessed and have a good one.